There is a facility in Pennsylvania that has been dead for years, a concrete monument to failure. But last month, the architects of the future wrote $1 billion check to bring it back to life. You think the AI revolution is about code? It's not. It is about to become a war for the one thing Silicon Valley cannot invent. To understand the crisis, you have to look at the geography of the internet. It doesn't live in Silicon Valley. It lives here, Northern Virginia, the physical heart of the web. For a decade, the deal was simple. Chips got smaller, software got smarter, efficiency kept pace with demand. We could have more internet without using more power. That era is over. Generative AI broke Moore's law. We are no longer retrieving data, we are calculating reasoning. This requires a level of energy density that the modern world has never seen. In 2024 alone, US data centers consumed an estimated 183 terawatt-hours of electricity. That is more than the entire nation of Pakistan, and we are just getting started. OpenAI's proposed Stargate supercomputer is rumored to require 3.5 gigawatts of power. And here lies the villain of our story. It isn't a person, it isn't a corporation. It is the grid. A decentralized, antiquated patchwork of copper and wood, largely built in the mid-20th century. It was designed to power light bulbs and televisions, not a synthetic intelligent species. In major hubs, the grid is full. New housing developments are being told they can't connect. Factories are being turned away. The thermodynamic wall isn't a theory. It is here. And to break through it, big tech has realized they can no longer just be software companies. They must become utility companies. There is perhaps no greater symbol of technological hubris and failure than this place. 3 Mile Island. In 1979, a partial meltdown here froze the American nuclear industry for a generation. It became a monument to fear, a radioactive pariah. For decades, Unit 1 sat quietly, eventually shutting down in 2019 because it couldn't compete with cheap natural gas. But in September 2024, the impossible happened. Microsoft signed a 20-year power purchase agreement to restart the reactor. Let that sink in. The most valuable company in the world is paying billions to resurrect a nuclear site famous for a disaster. Why? Because nuclear energy is the only source that checks every box AI requires. It is carbon-free, it is dense, but most importantly, it is baseload. The sun sets, the wind dies, but the intelligence factory never sleeps. AI training runs take weeks, sometimes months. A millisecond of power loss can corrupt $1 billion model. Microsoft isn't buying electricity, they are buying reliability. This is the apex shift. The digital elite, who spent 20 years disrupting the physical world, are now crawling back to it, begging for its atoms. They are willing to embrace the radioactive public relations nightmare because the alternative is starvation. But fission, splitting the atom, is just a stopgap. It produces waste. It carries risk. The true apex predator of energy is not the splitter. It is the builder. Fusion. Sam Altman is known as the face of OpenAI, but his portfolio reveals a deeper truth. He knows that GPT-6 and the artificial superintelligence he promised are physically impossible on the current grid. This is why he personally invested $375 million into Helion Energy. This isn't a diversification play, it is a survival strategy. Fusion is the power of the sun, bottled in a magnetic field. Infinite fuel, zero meltdown risk. It has been 20 years away for 50 years. But companies like Helion are promising commercial fusion by 2028. Microsoft has already pre-purchased electricity from Helion. It's a contract for a product that doesn't exist yet. If Helion fails to deliver, the penalties are massive. But if they succeed, the cost of intelligence drops to near zero. However, there is a dark side to this gamble. If fusion remains a fantasy and fission takes too long to scale, where does the AI go? Data has gravity. In the last decade, data centers were built near the users, near New York, London, Tokyo, to reduce latency. Speed was king. In the next decade, data centers will be built near the uranium. This is the new geopolitics of compute. We are witnessing the rise of energy sovereignty. Nations with cheap, abundant power will attract the intelligence. Why is Microsoft investing billions in the UAE? Why is Saudi Arabia buying thousands of H100 chips? Because they have the energy reserves to run them. Meanwhile, Germany, having dismantled its nuclear fleet, faces an industrial exodus. If the United States cannot clear the regulatory red tape to build new reactors, a process that currently takes a decade, the intelligence revolution will leave. It will migrate to jurisdictions where physics is respected more than bureaucracy. We are moving from a world where we fight wars for oil to a world where we trade sovereignty for electrons. For 30 years, Silicon Valley sold us a dream of dematerialization. They told us our phones replaced cameras, maps, and stereos. They told us the economy was becoming weightless. They were wrong. The digital economy is the heaviest economy in history. It requires the most concrete, the most copper, and the most heat. We are not entering the information age. We are returning to the atomic age. The limit of our potential is no longer how smart we can code, but how much heat we can dissipate. The code is infinite, the power is not.